So, look, I thought another good practice. We had a few guys that were didn't finish practice today. Colin Saunders with an illness, Shaq Davis and Keith Kirkwood, just a little heat related. Trevor Penning missed today with a foot injury. Day to day. I expect he'll be out here tomorrow or the next day, but we'll see where he's at tomorrow. But overall, I think still pretty good health. Guys are competing out there. I thought it was a spirited practice today, so thought it was a step forward from yesterday. Tomorrow will be much the same. A little bit longer practice tomorrow. Put on some shells, but we're still not in pads yet, so that's where we're at.
Is Trevor's foot?
It's not related to the previous surgery. Really minor. Probably more of a precaution to keep him out today.
Dennis, with the heat-related stuff, how closely would you say you guys are? Because I'm sure the players aren't necessarily complaining a lot. How closely do you guys have to watch sort of every guy?
Yeah, we're paying attention to it. I mean, it's not a joke. It's a serious deal, and we'll monitor that throughout the training camp. And there'll be some times that we'll have to get him in here out of the heat a little bit. But I didn't think for the first couple of days, I didn't think that was appropriate. So. We'll monitor that and adjust as we go.
Is that one of those things where you sort of have to tell the players, look, you've got to tell us when you're having trouble?
Well, yeah, that's part of what the whole, we have a whole presentation at the beginning of training camp, and a lot of it's talking about heat-related illnesses, and it's really about all of us staying vigilant, coaches, trainers, players, personnel guys. We're all paying attention to what's going on out there. There's some signs that you look for. And so, we've kind of instructed everybody, if you see somebody that's demonstrating any of those signs, make sure you get it reported to the training staff, and then we'll take the appropriate action.
Yeah, I know you said there were pluses and minuses you see in turnovers in practice, the plus being the defense getting it, the minus being you don't want to see the offense turn it over, but are you pleased with seeing the habits being formed with the forcing turnovers? Yeah,
look, it starts in practice. We call them defensively, we call them takeaways because nobody gives us the ball. We got to go out and take it away. The ball's the most important thing on the field, so we focus a lot on it. It's good to see our guys taking the coaching from the meeting room out to the field.
Dennis, can you talk a little bit about Jameis Winston, his development in OTAs, minicamp, and up the right?
Yeah, look, I like the spot where Jameis is in. Jameis has embraced his role. He's doing everything he can to help Derek out, as well as working his tail off to improve himself. And so I like his mindset as we, went through all of OTAs, minicamp. We start this training camp. I like his mindset and where he's at, and he's continuing to work.
Dennis, Derek said yesterday that you and Nicky both told him, we're trying to get him to come here. We want you to come here and be you. Given the fact that outsiders might unfairly compare anybody to Drew, how important was it to y'all to convey that message that you're
Yeah, look, I think it was an important part of the process. Really, as with any player, everybody's their own individual. And I know on the outside, everybody likes to look for comparisons and what's this player like compared to. But at the end of the day, all of us are individuals, and we gotta operate the way that we operate. And so I think that's important for all our guys. Derek, no different than anybody else.
How would you describe his leadership style?
Probably a little bit more, by action. But yet, I don't think he's afraid to call somebody out if necessary. So we had that happen in OTAs. We had a receiver that didn't know what he was doing. He got him out and got somebody else in there. So I think he's in full control of what we're doing offensively, and he's done a great job with his leadership. The number one thing about leadership is, your actions speak so loudly, I can't hear what you say, right? And so that's the best form of leadership, is go out here and do things right every time.
Is it especially pertinent for him coming into a new team? I mean, you think of quarterbacks often as leaders. They're people like the team looks up to you. So they're kind of especially important coming into a new team.
I haven't seen a lot of great leaders that weren't really good players in some form or fashion.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I think that's where it starts. And so coming in every day with a mindset to go to work, doing things right in the meeting room, doing things right in the weight room, taking care of your body, practicing the right way. Those are all the things that's the number one aspect to leadership is you got to be willing to do the things that you're wanting to ask other people to do.
Dennis, I know I'm going way overreading into one day of practice, but Peyton Turner getting to rotate in with the ones, is that a signal of something he's earned this offseason?
Yeah, look, I think it's a combination of something that he's earned, and we're looking to see who's going to be that guy that's going to line up on the other side of Cam Jordan. And somebody's got to not be given that role. Somebody's got to take that role. And look, he's earned the right to get those reps, and now it's what do you do with them?
Where does Kirk Merritt stand right now, position-wise?
He's a running back. Yeah, he's playing the running back position.
Does that have anything to do with potential suspension?
No.
Yeah, when it comes to creating turnovers, obviously opportunity is a huge part, but how much of that is mentality versus technique? How much, like the combination, like what's the balance there?
Yeah. Well, look, I think it has to start with the mentality, because if you don't have the right mentality and you're not searching the ball out on every single play, then they're not going to come. It happens when there's a conscious effort on everybody's part to attack the ball. That starts with us as a coaching staff, coaching it, preaching it, demanding it, and then having our guys execute it in practice, and then those things will happen in the game. But it's a habit that's created. Again, they don't give them to us. We got to go out and take them.
Is that something you think Andrew Dowell's like really good at? Because he just always.
Yeah, he does a really good job of that. And it's not just, there's a technique that's involved in that, and I think he's done a pretty good job of. I think we've done a better job of coaching that technique, and I think our players are taking to that and executing it.
During the running period at the end of practice, we saw Cesar Ruiz and Brian Brzee on the bikes. Is that ramp-up related, heat related?
Well, it's a little more ramp-up related.
Dennis, when you look at where Rashid Shaheed's at, how do you like his development as a receiver? It seems like he's not just a return, honestly.
No, he's a receiver. And man, I just, from the time that we got him last year and he got healthy enough to kind of go through practice, you started seeing some signs, and each day I've seen him, continue to get better. I think he's getting, he's always had great speed, and he's always had the ability to transition at the top of the route, but I think you're seeing some technique things here where he's kind of understanding how to run a route and how to get himself open. And yet, look, at the end of the day, it's about being at the right spot for the quarterback when the quarterback expects him to be there.
Dennis, with the wind sprints at the end, did you
How'd I do?
I thought you did great.
Yeah, me
Did
too.
you purposely line up near the lineman? Did you find yourself near that end on purpose?
I plead the fifth on that one. Huh? Plead the fifth. All good? Okay, thanks, guys.
Thanks to you.
They probably got to adjust the camera angle.
Oh, gotcha.
All good? Ryan, how you feeling health-wise going into this year? Better than last year, about the same?
Yeah, I feel confident with how my body's feeling this year. Last year I think I was on a good schedule as far as training camp goes and kind of a management program, and they got kind of the same deal going for me. So body's feeling good, and it's felt good these couple of days here. So.
Is that
how would you describe the management program, and how much does that help to not have to do it every year?
Yeah, the management program, I guess, is just taking a little bit of reps off. So just a reduction of reps, maybe not on your feet as much. So I think with joints and stuff like that, they appreciate not being on them as much. So just little things like that can make a difference, I think.
Could you feel the difference in, like, by game 10 or 12 last year? Could you feel how the management maybe during training camp had paid off?
I think so. I think there is a little bit to be said there with longevity and how I was feeling later on in the season. I do think it helped.
refrigeration truck has been here since you've been here, right?
I think so. I think it was here my rookie year.
Do you use it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
When we're allowed.
How does that, right. So have you ever asked for permission to use it, or is there a specific break in using it?
So it's kind of been up to our position coach if he wants to give us a shot in there or not. I do think it's beneficial. I think it can lower your body temperature. I think there's some science behind it that definitely is beneficial as far as kind of getting you rejuvenated quickly, cool down. So I think it's beneficial.
Ron, when you guys can go through training camp knowing who the starter is going to be and say that guy plays every game of the season, how much of a benefit is it to you guys on the line to just know the quarterback, know how he's making his drops, get used to his consistency? How much does that help you guys do your job?
Well, I think it definitely helps having that consistency, having that, you kind of know how the operation is going to work. It's definitely beneficial. Yeah.
Can we get your impressions of Derek Carr?
My impressions of Derek Carr? He came in here and I think he's going to be a great leader. He's got great leadership skills, great command of the huddle. He's got kind of a calm, cool, collected, confident swagger to him. So I'm excited. I know we're all excited to get the ball rolling here.
Is that a necessary trait for a quarterback, just to be really level, or is that helpful for the offense?
I don't think you could generalize and say everyone needs it. They're all kind of different. Everyone's kind of got their own personality. So they kind of all have their own deal.
Sure. How many times would you say you use the truck during a typical August practice? Once per practice? Or?
Yeah, if we could get it once per practice, that'd probably be a good day.
Do you check out the forecast every morning before practice just to see what the highs are supposed to be, or the coaches mention it or anything?
I used to, and I've kind of just been if it's 92 or 99, it's hot. So that's kind of where I'm at now. Yeah.
Historically, it's been a team that's had a number of injuries on the offensive line, a lot of different combinations of guys playing up front every week. How much time do y'all spend away from the field just kind of building relationships and communicating with each other?
Fair amount. We got group texts, and we communicate with each other that way, and hang out here and there. But I feel like we're a pretty tight-knit O-line group. We all get along well and got each other's backs.
How important is that when there are guys who, someone goes down and it's a different group the next week, that you guys are able to communicate well and that you guys are, close with it?
Well, it's extremely important. It is a difficult thing to kind of plug a new guy in here or there. You're playing guard here this week, and then you got to jump out to tackle. So it's not an easy thing to do, and I think it's very important that we're all on the same page and we can all work together and be confident in the guy next to us, no matter who it is.
It's the first day in pads a special day for you guys after you spent the whole offseason not being able to do what you're paid to do?
Yeah, the first day of pads is always, here we go moment. This is when we really get to test ourselves, see what our team is kind of made of, and kind of get the first glimpse of real football. All right, thanks guys.
Thanks, Ryan.
Good. Oh,
It's good, Mario.
first of all, praise God. Second of all, how did y'all get Ryan Ramczyk to talk that much? That was impressive.
It was mostly us talking.
That was impressive. Jeez, I don't think I heard him say that much.
He's not mid-season form yet,
Oh my God, that's more words than I heard the entire time I've been here. That was impressive.
Still going.
Yeah, look, check him out. Wow.
Mario, one of the things when you're looking at last year and things you're trying to improve, your numbers across the board are pretty good, but the turnover numbers were not where y'all wanted them to be. How do y'all view that? Is that something that you think can kind of bounce back, or is that something that kind of has to be intentional?
Oh man, since I've been here, the standard has been very high for our defense. And that doesn't change. The things that we have to do to be good as a defense or be great, which is our goal. We have to be good on first and second down, stopping the run, which creates long third downs, lets us get out to the quarterback, get off the field on third down, be great in the red zone, and force takeaways. And so all of it begins on first and second down, which sets up everything else. And we take a lot of pride in doing that.
Tomorrow, where are you at right now as far as your relationship and the trust factor with Pete Werner? You know, he's going into his third season. They all can kind of look at one another on the same wavelength and communicate that way.
Yeah, I think playing with Pete Werner has been an incredible blessing for me as a linebacker. You want to be able to play somebody who's, number one, a smart football player, number two, that's tough, and number three, that can make plays. And he's a triple threat in that regard. Since he's gotten here, he's played way above his tenure. And so excited for him and what it looks like to be his trajectory of his career. Looking forward to him to be able to put together a strong year, and it's going to be big for us. We need it. And it's definitely great to have a linebacker like him in the locker room. Somebody want to check their mic over here? I got it. Might want to tighten that up. Oh, it's the wrong one.
And along those lines, how about, we all know how Caden Ellis took advantage of his opportunity. Who do you envision maybe out of the other linebackers to maybe be potentially that guy to provide that?
We got a good group. We got a good group of guys in the locker room. I know a lot of praise goes to me and Pete, but we got some other guys who've been here and put in a lot of work. Andrew Dye, who's been phenomenal, providing depth for a long time. I think he's entering his 5th season here. Zach Bond has been phenomenal. We got some young guys who haven't hit the field as much, but look very explosive and smart guys, and definitely putting in the work. Nephi, D-Jack. So I think we're in good hands in that room. You never know every year when a guy's going to be called on, and so anybody on that 53 has to be ready. And I definitely feel good about our linebacker room. The guys that get called on will do well.
Mario, how is training camp different for you now at this point in your career compared to when you entered the league and were trying to prove yourself?
I mean, I always try to approach training camp like a rookie. Nothing expected, everything to gain. Just putting in the work, coming in, putting my head down, going to work. One of the things I learned here from the great Drew Brees was every year is built up brick by brick. And so you start from scratch. Everybody is at ground zero. Everybody's 0-0. And it's all about that first game, and everybody's trying to gain ground to be in the best position to win come week 1. And so my role is no different than anybody else. I guess you just know how the entire picture plays out a little bit more.
Coaches follow up on that. With your off-season training, you continually try to find new ways to improve your body. Does that kind of play into that?
For me, when it comes to my life and just how I live in general, I try to live with my faith first. And so the word tells us everything that we do it to the glory of God. And so in my career, I try to find ways to get my game to the best it can be, whether that's taking care of my body, whether that's taking care of my brain and my mental sharpness, whether that's taking care of the way that I relate and chemistry and camaraderie with the guys in the locker room. I just try to live in a way that's reflective and glorifying to my Father, but also in a way that's a light to other people. And so I'm always try to find different ways to stay at the top of my game and keep my spirit as sharpest.
Have things changed in the way coaches accommodate older players and give you more time off than maybe the way they treated veterans when they came into the league?
I think our organization around the board has just tried to take care of all the guys to make sure that we're all ready when it comes time to play. And when you have older and younger guys, it definitely takes different things to make sure the guys are ready come week 1. Of course, the younger guys, year 1, year 2, they need to spend a lot more time in the film room just learning the playbook. Some of the guys who've earned themselves as a starter, it's time for them to start advancing and learning what the other teams are going to do. And as you get later in your career, of course, the most important thing is being able to take care of your body and have that longevity. So I think our organization has done a good job of just understanding all the different aspects of our team and finding ways to get us all to optimal level. So we trust our plan.
The first couple days, you've seen a strips on the defensive side of the ball. Is that a focus this offseason, of just having that mindset if you're always going to the strips?
I think that's a part of being a great defense. You got to be able to create takeaways, and we've been able to do that in the past, and we didn't do that as well as we wanted to last year, and so getting back to that is important for us.
Is there a competition in the linebacker room again for that?
Always. One of our main words is hunt, and when we say hunt, we hunting the ball, and so we feel like in all aspects we're the energy and the engine for the defense. We have to be. I think that's just the nature of the position. And so going to get the ball has to begin with us.
Tomorrow I got a non-football question for you, if that's all right. First graduating class for Devoted Dreamers, what did that mean for you?
Oh, man. It was absolutely amazing to see those kids get to the end of one chapter of the journey. Kids who entered the program not knowing what to expect, to come in and learn, our motto of the 5 T's, that you're a steward of your time, your talent, your temple, your testimony, and your truth, and your treasures. And so understanding that and being able to go and live that out and complete that first phase and be able to get ready to come back and do it all over again, some of them graduating out. It was just great to have a capstone and a year end of something. It doesn't matter how you start, it's all about how you finish. And so we had many of them that started with us that were able to finish with us, and so that was huge. So praise God for that. Devoted Dreamers really just started from my life. I was a kid who was able to find success in the classroom and on the field, but I struggled off the field. Very early in high school, I was expelled from school. My first year in college, I went to jail. And so I was a guy that had all the talent on the field and actually did okay in the classroom, but I couldn't put it together off the field. And so what I realized when more people came into my life and I started to lean on mentorship, and I started to learn more life skills and tools to apply when I was away from the field, I started to have a lot more success in life. And so for me and my wife, that was all about going back and reaching that next generation with the same things and providing them with some of the aspects that they don't have, where so many of these kids coming from these neighborhoods have great talent and actually are really smart kids. They just don't have the tools around them to help supplement their success. And so that was a big part of why we created Devoted Dreamers, to help equip the next generation spiritually, mentally, and physically with the tools they need to be successful at reaching their dreams. And so been over a decade, been working at it, and it's had a ton of success, and it's praise God for all of it.
Do you feel okay revisiting, for those of us who don't know what happened? You referenced going to jail, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, like how you look back on that now and what happened and all that.
Oh, yeah. I was a freshman in college, and me and one of my teammates got arrested for stealing groceries out of Walmart. I look back on that time, man, I had so much talent on the field, but I was just in my way. And I remember going to jail and just thinking I lost my scholarship, and it was over. My coach had just gave a speech about if you steal, you're a thief. And so I just knew he was going to take my scholarship. Fortunately, he only suspended me for 1 game. He made me run a hill for quite a few hours, and I was grateful for that because he was giving me an opportunity to stay. And so when I look back, I know it's so many people out there who have dreams and ambitions and focus, and if you can lock into that, it's going to be obstacles and distractions, whether it's other people, whether it's other things, or it's yourself that get in the way. But if you're able to lock in on that dream and stay devoted to it, you have a North Star to always pull you back on track. So when I went to jail, I knew I was going the wrong direction. And it was a little bit after that I ended up giving my life to Christ, because I realized my life wasn't going in the direction that I wanted it to go. And so I needed something to come into my life. And fortunately, it was Jesus Christ that came into my life and helped me live for something that was bigger than myself. And that's why I don't take it lightly when you hear me come up here and say praise God or glory to God. My life has really changed because I focus on Him. And I focus on living in a way that's not myself. Because anytime I get into living for myself, my life looks just ugly as anybody else. And but when I'm focused on the right things, which is Him, then my life always gets back on track. So glory to God.
Do you remember what it was that you and your teammate?
Oh man, we had a big heist. We took about $200 worth of groceries. So we had Captain Crunch, Frosted Flakes, Debbie Cakes, honey buns, orange juice, lemonade, bread, sandwich meat, Vienna sausages. We had it all, man. And we was ready to get back and distribute. I had like take some of these to my homeboy room, take some of these, and right when we was getting ready to distribute, the police pulled up. And man, it looked like Frank Lucas going to jail. It was a drug bust. They took all the grocery bags one by one to the police car. It was a scene. Everybody was standing outside. It was like America's Most Wanted or something, dog.
But you can still steal footballs, though. Right?
Huh?
You can still steal footballs, though.
Yeah, we can steal footballs. We can take them all we want. That's good. I like that. Hey, thank you.
Thank you.
Frank Lucas.
Thank you. Getting tightened up.
Boy, how you doing?
Dennis said, praise how you have embraced your role this going into this season. Would you agree with that, and how would you describe it?
Well, my role is to get better every single day, right? And if I'm getting better, then we're all getting better. So I'm grateful to have the opportunity to come to work every day and compete, right? And that's just a part of my livelihood. Like, we all in this thing to compete, and I got to push everybody around me.
How are you feeling?
I'm getting better. I am getting better.
Dennis, any significance for the haircut? It looks like the first day of school kind of cut that you got going there.
Well, no, I mean the long hair was just the significance was there. Like, I've been had a haircut, so just got to look good. Went home to see my mama last weekend. Spent some time with my brother and my pop. So I went on ahead and cut it off. You know, the facial hair was a different thing. You know, but I like, you know, it just made me look well. I'm not gonna say it, but you can tell me it makes me look like 5 years younger.
I was gonna say it's like Florida State days. Like
yeah, taking it back to the old school, you know.
Have you done anything this offseason just in terms of approach, just with your body or anything else? Have you tweaked anything in terms of how you're getting ready for this training camp?
Yeah, preparation changed in terms of not overtraining, not doing as much as I've done in the past. More corrective things for my body, more intentional things, small things. Marginalism, that's a big thing that I focus on this offseason, just doing small increments of things and continue to improve.
Jameis, when we came into the league, was there a veteran quarterback with the Bucs who kind of had a positive influence on the room that maybe you can draw on now to have that kind of influence on the quarterback room?
Well, I definitely embrace that because I know how important that is. Mike Glennon was 2 years ahead of me. He was a great teammate. Ryan Griffin was with me all years there, but he still was a young quarterback. Ryan Fitzpatrick, I got to spend 2 years with him, and he was awesome. Just his coolness, his presence, and his ability to make the room, I would say, very fun. Yeah, he had just a fun personality, and that's my role here. You know, we got a young quarterback in Jake, a veteran quarterback in Derek, and my role is to come to work every single day and give it my best and be able to cater to those guys so we all can help lift each other up and go higher.
What's it been like building a relationship with Derek?
Oh, it's been fun, man. Like, my favorite thing about him is he's an excellent man of God, man. He's a fun-loving guy, great energy, very easy to talk to. It's just good coming to work every single day, and you know that your quarterback is approachable, and he's just a fun guy.
Was it tough to decide to stay in New Orleans for you?
No, it wasn't, because I'm grateful for this opportunity to be the quarterback here, and I know I'm not finished here. You know, I love this city, I love our fans, I love y'all guys. You know, on most of the days. You know, but no, it's a privilege to be in the NFL, and anytime you have an opportunity to be a quarterback, especially one of the 32, and I do know that I'm still one of those 32. Just my role here is to help uplift our one so we can get us the Super Bowl, right? And I love that.
Mario just talked to us about some of his off-field, things that he had going on when he was younger. Looking back on some of the things that you had off the field early in your career and in college, how much do you feel that has impacted you as a coach and as a player as you've grown?
Well, every single day I'm looking for a way to improve, right? Whether that's on the field, off the field, and just as a man, like, you have to continue to move forward and you have to continue to get better. I don't believe in staying the same, right? So just the holistic part of me being a leader in my household, having kids that's looking up to me every day, being a great husband to my wife. I have to continue to improve, and hopefully that leadership carries on within my house.
James, adding on to the quarterbacks, they're going back to the college days. Derek Brooks and Charlie Ward. Do you still contact with them, and what was it like for you having those two helping you out with your career?
Yeah, absolutely. Charlie Ward it was more of the admiration phase with him, and we developed a relationship over the years. But man, Derek Brooks has been one of my mentors since I stepped foot on campus at Florida State. And luckily, I was able to go to Tampa where he was living. So he has always been one of those voices in my head that had a lot of impact on me. So just him being a Hall of Fame linebacker and having a true perspective and being one of the great, film watchers or prepared players in league history has helped me with my career tremendously.
And how much being with Drew Brees?
Yeah, that 1 year with Drew and Sean, like that was the deadly combination. Drew is the Hall of Famer, and he had a vision. But seeing the continuity of them two together was so important for my growth and me moving forward.
James, what are some differences you've noticed in Rashid and Chris Olave in year two as opposed to when they came in as a rookie and worked a lot with them?
The biggest difference is they're older, and they're not older in terms of like that, but it's just the way that they view the game. Like they're older in the system. I'll put it that way. Like, and they're just on top of it. They're playing faster. Those two guys are, I've had some great young receivers in my career, one of them being Chris Godwin. And they're in that category, and striving to be better, right? With electric speed, strong hands, and lateral quickness. You don't in length. Like that's one thing those guys have. Like they're 6 foot, 6'1", but they're extremely long. Both of them remind me of Deshaun Jackson, the way that they attack the ball and how they can get behind the defense.
James, what are your first impressions on the rookie Jake Haener?
I think he's going to be a great quarterback in this league. He works his tail off, right? He's always studying to prepare, and he's just a fun guy. He loves football. He has a chip on his shoulder. People talked about, like we were talking about the transfer portal the other day. He transferred from Washington to Fresno State. He has a chip on his shoulder, and like when you're coming into this league, you want to have that edge, to push you harder to go farther.
James, who's the photos in your necklace?
Oh man, this is a Father's Day gift that I got from my wife, and the middle is my grandmother's. I got both my grandmothers. That's a popular one, my draft day picture. But this is Patricia White. She's who raised me till I was about 14, and these are my two babies. Yeah. But I almost teared up when my wife gifted me this, because these two women on my chest are so influential to me, and I do my best to carry on their legacy every day. Thank you for asking that.
James, one more question with Florida State. What do you feel about them this year? Do you think it will be a breakout year?
Yeah, I'm certain that they're going to have a phenomenal year under the leadership of Coach Mike Norvell and Jordan Travis. When you got a great quarterback, a great defense headed by Jared Verse, and you got a great head coach who's a great leader, and he get the guys to rally behind him. I know you guys are going to be pulling for the Tigers, but I will be pulling for the Noles when we go to Orlando and take care of business yet again.
James, you spoke a bit about your connection with whether it be the media corps, the players, the organization, everything. Can you expand a little bit further on just your example?
Yeah, I grew up 5 hours down the road in Birmingham, Alabama. Grew up admiring the likes of Aaron Brooks and Drew Brees. So I'm a kid that grew up somewhat of a Saints fan. I actually was an Eagles fan because of Andy Reid, but my other team was the Saints, because of their pedigree, because of Sean, because of Drew. Admiration of Aaron Brooks, just the things that they did here. And when I got here, this city, they took me in, and I respected that. And this is a football town. You go to other towns where football might not be as important to some people, but I know in this city we love football. So I really love that, and I was embraced by the city, and I love them back.
You came here for the Manning Award too, right? I remember
Yeah, I did. Yeah. Yeah, but that was a day in and out. You know, once you get affiliated with the Mannings, you know, you feel like you're on top, going to the Manning passing the cannon. Mean Archie, mean Payne, mean Eli. You know, I got to try to slide in their door a little bit more often. We're good. All right, thank you. Yeah, have a good day.
You too.
Chris, what are you visualizing better now as a second-year receiver?
Just picking up on the lingo here, especially not having to learn the playbook and get out there and run routes, but just knowing everything inside and out with the offense. I feel like the game is coming easier to me.
Chris, your impressions of Rashid Shaheed, but specifically his quickness, how ridiculously quick would you describe it?
He quick and fast, which is rare. He got the quick twitch and he real fast, so that's rare to find. And you can see it every snap he's on the field, and I'm excited to play with him this year. I was excited last year, but it looks like he got a lot quicker and a lot faster this year. So,
Chris, that knowledge, how much faster does it allow you to play?
It's just not having to second guess myself. Just knowing where everybody gonna be, and knowing what kind of space I got on the field and where I got to be. So it allows me to play a lot faster.
Mike tweeted the other day that it feels like a dream team a little bit with all the guys you got. Like, how do you feel about the weapons, and how do they help you do your job, just having more guys, out there?
We got so many weapons. We're so explosive on offense, and we got a great defense. We had a great defense last year, but with the weapons we added on offense and having a year under the belt with playing with the guys last year, I feel like it just allowed us to build chemistry and going into this year ready to explode. So.
And how do you think it could help you if they're looking for Mike underneath, and you got Alvin doing his thing, Derek?
We got so many guys that can do so many things. Nobody's really labeled to one spot. I feel like everybody could do a little bit of everything. So you can't just tap into one or two guys. You got to tap into the whole offense. So I feel like that's what makes it scary for offense.
Chris, yesterday, Derek talked about the trip to Las Vegas and what that meant. How would you describe that for you, what it meant, what you got out of it, and how much it's helped?
It helped a lot. I mean, just getting out there and throwing some, just with some of the guys, developing the routes, developing the timing, the wording, just building chemistry going into training camp. I feel like it helped a lot. And getting out there in the heat, trying to go out there and practice, they prepared us for the heat out here. So.
Was there something specific you guys were working on out there, like one thing, or was it just sort of everything?
It was really everything, kind of short, mid, and deep routes. Just trying to get timing down, trying to get body language down, just stuff like that.
How does it help if you and Rashid are essentially classmates, going through the same thing at the same time in your careers?
It helps a lot, just having somebody there that was there with me since I got here. Somebody look towards to or look at and be like he was there since we developed the playbook. We learned the playbook at the same time. We were kind of did really everything at the same time and developed into the players we are today. I feel like we both gonna have big roles in offense.
Chris, if I remember right, Chris, we were talking at the end of last year that you kind of wanted to improve your play strength. Do you think you were able to do that this offseason and just kind of get stronger at the catch points?
Oh yeah, I feel like I got a lot better at that. I got a lot stronger this offseason. I feel like I'm playing at a heavier weight, and I feel a lot bigger on the field. So I'm definitely ready for the season and what it has for me.
How much weight did you gain?
I gained like 7 pounds.
Is that like a balance for you where you wanted to add strength and get bigger, but like not also like losing quickness and speed?
Oh yeah, that was big for me. Just trying to stay fast, which is a big part of my game, and stay quick. I feel like just gaining that weight, not getting too big, but trying to get to a better size to play in this league.
How much has Michael Thomas like just kind of trying to take you under his wing a little bit?
He took me under his wing right when I got drafted. He kind of paved the way for me, and he set the standard real high. So just trying to match that or be better than that is a huge expectation for me. But he's took me under his wing and kind of taught me the ins and outs of the NFL and where to gain an advantage, and I respect him for that a lot.
Chris, was there a game or a point in the season where you feel like in your rookie year that you're like, I got this, like I deserve to be here, I understand it, like I can definitely take this game to the next level?
Probably the first game. I feel like I was comfortable in the first game, playing at a good speed and playing alongside guys like Mike Thomas and Jarvis Landry helped me a lot. So they definitely helped me and allowed me to get better those first couple weeks, and which allowed me to get more and more comfortable throughout the year.
What about the following week in Carolina? Wasn't that one of your biggest games of the year?
Yeah, I think that was week 3. Yeah, week 3 was when both of them guys went down, and I had to step up. And we was just trying to come back and get a win that week, but they trusted me, and James was a huge part of that. And yeah, I was real comfortable with that game, which allowed me to grow that year.
Derek spoke yesterday about the steps forward that you and him are taking in terms of seeing the field the same way.
Mm-hmm.
Can you tell us a little bit about how you see that progress going as well?
Just seeing the field as he sees it, pre-snap, post-snap. I feel like I understand coverages and where the defense is going to be in the man and zone, and just having that feel and having that time in our heads. I feel like that's what he means by that. So just having a connection and chemistry is going to develop throughout training camp also. So just the beginning, and we're ready to develop.
How big is that leap in terms of seeing the field pre-snap, post-snap from your collegiate days to here in the NFL?
Kind of developed that in college. Kind of worked on that in my early years, and I got better throughout my years in college, and it transferred over to the NFL. So definitely thankful for how I was able to.
Do you have any goals for your second year?
Just to win. I mean, last year was kind of a shocking. I've never really been a part of losing that much, but just trying to win and take a step forward and get into the playoffs. That's my main goal.
Thanks, bud.
Thank you.
Carl, Dennis Allen has mentioned the word competition pretty repeatedly. It sounds like it's maybe a message to the team this year about wanting competition at every position. And he said specifically about that DE spot, he wants somebody to come out and win it and not to give it to anyone. Is that, I mean, obviously you see a lot of guys in the room, but is that a message that's really been conveyed?
Yeah, I feel like that's a message coming into camp every year. You know, everybody's competing for a spot, and you just got to go take it. Ain't nothing given. Whether you Cam Jordan, AK, it don't matter. Everybody's coming to do a job and take the job, so to get that starting spot. But at the end of the day, we're going to work as a team, and we're going to compete and make each other better.
Carl, last year coming in, you talked a lot about how you worked on trying to get better against the run. Was there a point of emphasis this offseason, something you were trying to add to your game?
Yeah, this offseason it was trying to stay focused, get bigger and stronger like always. Coming in, I've been watching a lot of film and seeing things that I could do better from last season going into this season. So I'm just trying to come in and do my job and do my part.
You do look big. Did you add some weight this offseason?
I slimmed up, so I'm about the same weight, but I slimmed up, lost body fat.
Like what? You said you saw some stuff that you wanted to work on. Like what?
Just like better hands, better get off, things like that.
When it comes to taking that leap in the run game, I mean, going from, novice to good is one thing, but going from good to great is a whole other thing. What is the difference for you going from making that last leap?
The difference is doing your job. We're going to start off by doing the job. Everybody got a part to do, 1/11, so everybody got to be on the same page. And going from good to great is details. Every little detail matter. You got to stand your gap and just focus on the little things that matter. So if you do that from the DN, D tackle, linebackers, corners, and we all on the same page, that's when we have a great defense.
How much of that can you work on during training camp before pads go on? Is it just about kind of knowing that you're in the right position and making the right choices?
Yeah, so you work on it like at night when we go walkthroughs, we watch it over, then practice. So we working on every detail and everybody staying in the gap, throughout the day. So, transitioning into pads is always going to be a big thing, the little details. So right now we focusing on with jerseys, hand placement, get off, and pad level.
What else was really working for you that kind of clicked in place in the second half of last season that you want to build off of?
It's a new year, so I'm coming in with a different mentality, stay healthy, maintain weight, and stay strong. So coming into this season, it's a new team, so I'm trying to make my teammates better by competing and everybody else around me. So I'm trying to do my job, and then everything else will take care of itself.
How would you describe Cam Jordan's role in that room, and maybe what he does for you, like how you benefit from having him in that room?
Cam's going to make sure everybody is on point. So every day he's going to bring the energy. He's going to make sure everybody's doing what they're supposed to do, which is effort, run to the ball, finish at the ball. So if he see anything, he's going to point it out. So being a leader, everybody else being role models, we got to step up and do our job.
Carl, is it defense? How do you guys create the mentality of just that's needed to create more turnovers? Like, is that something you guys talk about a lot? Like, how do you maybe get that mindset?
It started off during OTAs in the off season. So this year we had a lot of guys come early, so we could build that chemistry. So if you got the right chemistry and you trust in one another, then everything else will take care of itself, and the mindset will come.
How would you say? What would you say stands out to you about Mario Davis as kind of like the main linebacker or captain playing right behind you, and how he develops chemistry with you guys, whether it's as a blitzer or filling a gap and stuff like that?
What stand out the most about being a leader with Mario Davis, I've been coming up here earlier, and he's the first one in the building. So it start off with that. A leader going to lead by example. And Mario, he's going to come in, work hard, and then he's leading by example. He's running to the ball, punching at the ball, trying to get strips and everything. And then us being his teammates, we see that, and then we follow right behind him. So Mario been doing it for a long time, and we got the young guys, Foskey and everybody else is following right behind him.
How much does he communicate with the defensive line before the snap, like in between, right before the play starts? Is there a lot of that, or it's hard to tell? I know it's loud in there.
The most he'll do is give a pep talk and get us ready to play practice or for the game. But other than that, he do what coach tell him, and then he send a message, and then we follow off that.
Got time for one more. Carl, toward the end of last season, kind of the latter half of the season, you ticked up in terms of snaps, 30, 40, 50 snaps in some games. How important were those increased opportunities for your
honestly, I wasn't even paying attention to the snaps. I was just going out there trying to play hard, give it everything I got, do my job, whether it's special teams or stopping the run. So staying in shape would really help, as my snaps increase. But I was just going out there and just playing ball.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Thanks, Carl.